Tonight on Prime Business, Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry calls for aggressive policy direction to drive down rising inflation, warning of an investor scare.
Invested in anything that you are getting interest less than the current inflation rate, then it's not worth it. So investors will look out for countries or areas where they will get a higher rate, which is higher than the interest rate, so that their real interest rate will be positive.
Also, the Ghana Revenue Authority calms fears over double taxation by the e-levy as it puts in place a special regime for refunds and exemptions for SMEs.
Made aware that registered businesses with the GRA will be exempted from the e-levy tax.
Plus, the Food and Drugs Authority insists only registered products will be approved for clearance at the ports.
If you fail to take advantage of all the measures put in place, then your product cannot be cleared. And then what happens to unregistered products when they arrive henceforth?
All these stories and more coming shortly. We begin with commodities. Well, to our very first story, the umbrella body of Ghana's business community has described April's inflation of 23.6% as unacceptable. This is the highest rate of inflation since January 2004, with surging food prices being the key driver. The CEO of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu-Abuaji, warned an aggressive policy direction to drive down the rates. He fears the current trajectory will not just make doing business in Ghana unbearable, but also dampen investor confidence.
You take macroeconomic policy, there are always trade-offs. Once you try to resolve another one also pops up. So we need to find a very balanced line between inflation and the policy rate. And I think we also have to look at how we can also produce more goods within the local economy. So if you are producing the food that we are importing, definitely with abundance, it means that the inflation on food and food-related commodities won't go up. So it's a collective responsibility for all of us to look at both the monetary and the physical aspect of it, and also look at the production aspect of it as well.
Finally, how does this affect investor confidence?
Well, I don't think it's a good sign. If you have invested in any asset that is giving you a rate that is less than the 23.6, it means you have lost. It means the real interest rate will be zero. Or if it's more or less than that, it means the real interest rate will be negative. So it means that if I invested in anything that you are getting interest less than the current inflation rate, then it's not worth it. So investors will look out for countries or areas where they will get a higher rate, which is higher than the interest rate, so that their real interest rate will be positive. Every investor is looking for a positive real interest rate. So it's not a good sign for a country like us. And I think the earlier we do something about it, the better it will be for the investor confidence as well.
Let's now turn our attention to utility tariffs, because hoteliers are dreading the impact of an anticipated utility tariff adjustment on their operations. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, PURC, has already been meeting stakeholders as it assesses the proposals from the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Water Company. President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyamika Jr. says it is wrong timing for hoteliers who are just recovering from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think this morning, this morning when I heard the Deputy Energy Minister suggest that tariffs may not be increased, but even then, I believe that the onus lies on the PURC. But the fact is that utilities, that's the water and power, they form a very crucial part of our business. So as we speak, some of the hotel side is about between 9 to 15% of the operational cost is taken by electricity, and the lower percentage is taken by. So if we should experience any upward adjustment, and a significant one, it will certainly affect the business. Frankly, we have enjoyed some stability in electricity and water tariffs, which we are very grateful for. But I think the timing of this proposed adjustment is very, very uncomfortable. As you rightly said, we are trying to recover from the impact of the COVID. Okay, and together with the other price hikes and the inflation going on, to be hit by this proposed adjustment, we are likely to face serious challenges.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, says varied doubt and fears of double taxation among Ghana's SME sector has been allayed. Speaking on the sidelines of an e-levy orientation for the Accra branch of the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, member of the e-levy technical team, Patrick F. Danso, explained that some exemptions and refund regimes designed for businesses who have registered their Momo account with the GRA have been enacted. There is more in this report. It's been 2 weeks since the 1.5% e-levy got implemented, and already business chambers as the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry are orienting members, especially young business owners, on the intricacies of this tax handle. The chairman of the Accra branch of the Chamber of Commerce, Nanaje Nimboatin, tells Joy Business that all doubts regarding the double taxation have been cleared for now.
The fear of increasing the cost of operation, and that was one thing that we feared the e-levy was going to bring to us. That is the double taxation. But today, from the presentation, we've been made aware that registered businesses with the GRA will be exempted from the e-levy tax. And simply put, assuming a business is charged e-levy or you pay e-levy with your company, you can charge that on your account as an expense. So you can have e-levy expense on your end of year accounts, and you can claim that from the GRA. So at the end of the day, it won't be double taxation.
The member of the e-levy technical team, Patrick F. Danso, says some exemptions and refund regimes have been designed for businesses who have registered their Momo account with the GRA.
As at last week Friday, they've reversed 128,000 transactions that were wrongfully done. They said they're going to look at the second day, which they are validating it now, and then they also reverse it. We have put in place a reversal system that anytime there's a mistake in or wrongful charges, they're able to reverse that transaction and then give the person back their e-levy.
The advent of the e-levy has also attracted a surge in cyber fraud cases, with SMEs being the most target. Eric Kuku-Mensah is the lead for financial crimes and anti-money laundering at the E-Crime Bureau.
It's very important that we as individuals, even businesses also, take note of some key things to be able to protect your businesses. For example, you shouldn't, pay heed to people who call you to say they want to teach you how to do reversal of, the e-levy tax and also some of the charges that come by. Also, we've realized that some criminals are going around telling people they want to teach them how to circumvent the e-levy payment. You do that at your own risk, and I would advise that you follow the necessary steps to be able to pay what the law mandates you to pay, and then you'll be a very free person.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has disclosed that the e-levy is already raking in significant revenue for the country. Collections from a single charging entity amounted to more than 1 million cedis in just a day. Now, the Food and Drugs Authority insists that only registered products will be approved for clearance at the port. Director of Research, Director of Center of Import and Export Control, Yam Kwartin, says registration is the only tool it uses to assess the quality and safety or otherwise of products for consumption. He made this known at a forum organized in collaboration with the Ghana Shippers Authority to address concerns of importers in Tema. Correspondent Kwame Yanka has more in the following report.
Although the Food and Drugs Authority's decision may seem quite unfriendly in some quarters, the regulator maintains it is one of the surest ways of ensuring public safety. The decision is also born out of the heavy price some countries have paid for allowing unsafe products onto their markets. The forum, organized in collaboration with Ghana Shippers Authority, took participants through their responsibility in dealing with regulated products. Speaking to Joy Business, Director of Center of Import and Export Control, Yakwatin, says insisting on only registered products is in line with Public Health Act 851 of 2012.
But if you fail to take advantage of all the measures put in place, then your product cannot be cleared. And then what happens to unregistered products when they arrive? Henceforth, 3 measures are available for FDA to apply. Number 1, you will be asked to take the opportunity to re-export the consignment that you have brought in that is not conforming to standards. Number 2, the consignment could be detained, and if there are few infractions like the labeling and other things, if it is possible for the product to be brought into conformance, yes, FDA can look at that. That is after registration and bringing in a consignment that does not conform. Number 3, the product is seized and destroyed at the cost of the importer.
Tema Branch Manager of Ghana Shippers Authority, Charles Asiedu, say believes such engagement will help avoid delays at the port.
It is very difficult to understand why issue that has to do with non-tariff barriers, issues that has to do with regulations and permit requirement should delay the clearance of cargo at the port. I mean, it should not happen. And so once we've done this sensitization, we hope that the delays that comes as a result of permit regulations requirement will not continue to happen. And that is the reason why this forum has to go around the country so that shippers, wherever they are, when they get to the port, they will not have some of these difficulties, and we want to ensure that it is eliminated completely.
General Secretary of Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Samuel Agri, says FDA must continue to ensure public safety.
If nothing is done and we are not sure of what is coming in for consumer to consume, what it means is that we'll be creating problem for consumers in general. So the right direction is that every product that comes into the country, be it drugs, food, or whatever, has to be registered and ensure that the efficacy of that product is well determined by the regulatory agency, which is the FDA or Food and Drugs Authority, to ensure that consumers are also safe.
Meanwhile, for Financial Secretary of Association of Customs House Agents of Ghana, Mabel Kabute, the forum has been quite enlightening.
Okay, so for us as freight forwarders, we've also come to know our role, what we need to do, or what we also need to advise the importers on before also even importing the goods, and even when they import, the regulations and what they need to take into consideration, so that when the cargo arrives, we will not incur demurrage and detention and storage whatsoever.
FDA is assuring importers and other stakeholders that it will continue to ensure public health and safety, as well as playing its role in trade facilitation.
Now, the National Lottery Authority, through its Good Causes Foundation, has pledged to support development in the rural part of the country, as well as the less privileged in society. This is part of its mandate and in accordance of the act to establish by the authority. Director General Samia Woku disclosed this when his outfit, together with the non-governmental foundation, Redeemer Foundation fed, dined, as well as gave packages to over 300 mothers at Mampom, Ekwapim in the Eastern region as part of the Mother's Day celebration. Here's more.
National Lottery Authority, NLA, established the Good Causes Foundation as part of its corporate social responsibility to support the needy, the less privileged, and development across the country. Director General Samir Uku promised to do more in the coming months.
Management and our staff, we joined the Ekwapim North Municipality, where we have our partners Redeemer Care Foundation in collaboration with the NLA Good Causes Foundation. We've put together such a wonderful program designed to feed our mothers today. These are widows from all parts of the municipality. The number in excess of 300, where we give all of them their package, a piece of cloth, rice, oil, and all those things that will make a good meal. And we are also excited to also note that they also find the NLA's presence extremely humbling. Some have shed tears. We danced together and we also had a meal together. That is our way of saying Happy Mother's Day to all these widows.
Deputy Coordinator of the NLA Good Causes Foundation, Amafrim Pong, said the foundation was committed to education, arts and culture, as well as health.
The NLA Good Causes Foundation, we work within 4 pillars. So we have education, youth development, arts and culture, and then health. But aside that, the NLA Act mandates that we should cater for widows, the destitute, orphans, and persons with disabilities. So the widows are part and parcel of us in Ghana, and we've decided to share our love with them, spread a little cheer. It also gives people the assurance that if they play the lottery and they don't win, their money is put to a good cause.
The NLA has so far this year undertaken several CSR projects, including screening of over 1,000 Ghanaians at Koliwonko, here in Accra.
Ghana is weaning itself from the reliance on space technology from the West to monitor water resources. The Minister of Education, Dr. Ayitey, has told a cross-section of tech and research experts at a conference organized by the United Nations. Launching the high-level conference, Dr. Ayitey announced that government has embarked on an ambitious educational reform in science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM to create a pipeline of future space researchers and scientists for Ghana's water management project.
We know that we're in the 4th industrial revolution. We cannot do this, and Africa cannot be an active participant without improving its human capital base. I'm on a situation where we are relying on the space technology of other nations to do our water management. Africa must wake up to understand that it's not going to be a case where we rely on the space technology, the hardware and the software from other countries and we are just observers. At best we become consumers of the research that is done in other places. Therefore, when we look at our capacity to fully participate in this, we have to think about how do we improve science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. So that when we talk about using space technology in monitoring water resources, it's not just us reading the research from the West. But what is happening behind the scenes that gives us the research should be equally important to us. Are we creating opportunity for our young men and women to participate in STEM? So they will be building some of the spacecrafts and they'll be writing the software. And we are not being asked to purchase the software license at an amount sometimes we cannot afford to even purchase it because our people are not writing the software. So in Ghana, the President of the Republic has decided that science, technology, engineering and mathematics education should have priority. As I speak with you, we've opened 5 high schools focusing on STEM, 1 exclusively for girls.
Meanwhile, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, tells Joy Business there is a need for more synergies to be created between research, industry and policymakers on matters concerning Ghana's water management.
Lot of effort from different institutions, but the key issue is that we want to stop trying to sit in the classroom or just academia doing their work and policymakers are on different side. We must come together, and that was what I said today at GTV, that the academia and the industry and the policymakers must come together in order for us to see how we can move forward. Let me mention that for us to fight corruption, one of the ways is using space technology. For example, if we want to really know whether our efforts on stopping Galamsey was really working or not, if we use space technology, we can be able to tell in reality whether the efforts on the ground really worked. So that is why, as a country, we need to push forward to see how we can do some of these things.
What do you think is accounting for the disconnect between academia, industry and policymakers?
The disconnect is as a result of the fact that over the years we have not seen research driving policy. I think this is where we have had a problem. Research must drive policy, and those in research must be what? Motivated to bring in innovations that can change our fortunes. China was able to do it because of research. India was able to do it because of research. Even Rwanda. In fact, let me mention that Rwanda Space Agency visited Ghana to come to our university to even learn. So you see that people are coming to our country to learn from some institutions and going back and implementing. So we must rise up and take up the opportunity.
Now, competition in the payment system industry continues to intensify. This is as a result of the introduction of PayRem, a money transfer application which seeks to facilitate the transfer of money from country to country. At a press briefing, the founder of PayRem, Ayitey Busa, said PayRem will enable users to send money across banks, amongst others. Here's more.
The financial sector continued to evolve with the growing use of payment systems. Founder of PayRem, Ayitey Busa, said the application is unique from other mobile transfer platforms because it offers additional services like cross-border remittances.
The difference between PayRem and other platforms is simple. First, a lot of platforms are our partners. So we are not competitors only, but we are partners. For example, if someone is in the US, he sends money to Ghana or to Benin or to South Africa or Kenya, so he has a choice to send money either to any bank account, because whenever you go to our app, you will see the list of the banks as well as the mobile money services. For example, if someone is in Rwanda, we can decide to send money to MTN so our competitors are our partners. And a lot of competitors are not partners to others. They are only within their platform. This is one. And second, we are cross-borders. So if you see some companies, some of our competitors are either within the country only, or within 2, 3, or 5 countries. But us, at this time, we are ready to go into 25 countries, and in few months we will go over 40 countries only here in Africa.
The country representative for PayRem, Steve Hackman, also added that PayRem will serve as a convenient platform since it is operational in over 100 countries, out of which 25 of them are from Africa.
We plan to enter all the countries around the world. That's one. But now we are in about 100 countries. But in Africa, we are about 25 countries now in Africa.
Notably?
Benin, Togo, Rwanda, South Africa, just to mention a few.
The creation of the PayRem app was influenced by the transactional challenges that was characterized by the COVID-19 pandemic.
And that'll be it for Prime Business. We have more news on myjoyonline.com. I'll leave you with international business news, after which we have Prime Sports. Do stay with Joy News.